Hello everyone, my name is Randall. I'm making this video today because I want to share a story with you. Pretty much when I was 12 years old, my mother passed away from cancer. It was really hard on me and my family, and at first I didn't know how I was going to get through it, and I couldn't see any good, and then all I saw was the bad, that my mom's gone and I don't know why this happened. I could not understand it at the time. Recently though, I've thought about it and trying to see the good and everything else in life. And today I was running on one of the trails I usually run on, and I saw this girl. She had to be about 15 years old, just sitting on the side of the trail crying. So I decide that I'm going to take some time, and I go and talk to her and see what's wrong. So we start talking, and she explains to me that she just learned that her father was killed overseas, and that it was really hard on her because she had last talked to him a couple days before that, and he had promised that he was going to be back for her birthday in 3 days. And so she was taking it really hard, and at first I didn't know what to say to her, so I just began talking to her and said, I know what you've gone through. And I told her my story about how I lost my mother when I was very young, and how I didn't know what to do at the time, and I didn't understand it, and I just wasn't sure what to do about it. And so we began walking and talking, and I talked to this young woman for probably about a good 2 hours, and she was, we just talked about her life and what she was feeling and how she didn't know what to do, and I tried to just sympathize with her and talk to her and explain, it never gets easier, but you have to find your own way. And at the end of this, when we're getting ready to part ways, she looks at me and she gives me a big hug, and she says, I was actually there on that trail because I was going to jump off one of the cliffs there and kill myself. And at this point, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't imagine the pain that she was going through and why she felt like she had to do that. But she told me, and she said, but you gave me hope, and through your story and through what you have told me about what you went through and showing that you came out of it as a better person, it gives me hope that I can live without my father and that I can do something better and that he'll always be there with me. And it brought tears to my eyes because I thought, what if I had just kept going? Because as I said, I was on my run, and I saw her. What if I didn't stop and I didn't take time out of my life to help this person in need? Then she would have gone on with what she wanted to do and committed suicide, and all because I wanted to save a little bit of time. I didn't want to stop and help another person. Then she would have killed herself. And for me, that was a big wake-up call, and I just thought, I said, why is it with us that we're so preoccupied with time that some of us can't stop and help another person? Because I'll be honest, it crossed my mind. I said, why should I care? Why would I stop? And, I'm so grateful that I did, because talking with this young woman also helped me come to terms with some of the stuff in my life. And it was just a great experience for all of us, but just to think that she could have been gone, and no one would have cared for her at that point, and no one would have stopped, and she just would have been gone. And that's a hard feeling for me. And while I was talking to her, and it was just so difficult to think that she would want to do this and that she was in such a hard place. And I'm just so thankful that this horrible event that happened in my life was able to turn around and turn it into some good, because I have a feeling if I wasn't able to share with her what happened to me and what I went through, that she would not have been able to cope with this, and she would have committed suicide. And so I'm so grateful that this bad event that happened to me, I was able to bring some good out of it and help this young woman in her life. And what also brings me happiness and joy is that I know that that's something my mom would have wanted. And so it's just really good for the both of us. And I'm just grateful. And anyways, I just want to share this story because whoever takes the time to watch this I want you guys to understand too that there are bad times in life and bad things do happen, but never give up hope and always look for the good in it, because you never know what will happen. I mean, this is a great thing I was able to do with my tragic story through what I went through, and it's just, I never thought that I could touch someone else's life like this. And so I really want to reach out to all of you watching this video and say, take some extra time and talk to other people and just get to know them and see what they're going through, because you guys might have a lot more in common than you would have thought. And so you can take the experiences in your life, the good and the bad, and you can just make it a better experience for all. So I hope you all will take this advice into consideration and just take some time. As I said, I went through this rough part in my life, and I was able to bring some good out of it with this young lady, and I'm immensely grateful for that. And I hope that even if just one of you guys watching this video can do the same and you guys can help each other out, then this will have been worth it. So I wish you all the best of luck.